Hello, art people. Welcome to day 1 of our new art lesson, Suffix Hot Chocolate. Day 1. I am preparing a winter background so that I can speculate how Edgar Degas prepared backgrounds for his own art. Okay, first, let's look at our reference images. So here's who we're inspired by, Edgar Degas. He used, well, I'm not going to tell you what he used because we're going to speculate about that later. But here's some of his artwork. Here's some different ideas for the composition for your artwork. We're going to have a window and a mug. Here's some window reference images. Here's some reference images of the outside in wintertime. Here's some different windowsill or table right in front of the window references. We'll need that for our hot chocolate mug. And of course, here's our hot chocolate reference images. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we need to get our piece of paper. So if you are a bear, you can get everybody a piece of paper. Okay, and then we are going to need a pencil. If you're an alligator, you can get everybody a pencil and an eraser. And the first thing we do is always the same. We pick up our pencil and write our name in the bottom right corner. And our class, which is your grade, so 3, and the first letter of your teacher's last name. Then draw a box around this so you don't accidentally color it in. Okay, now it's time to get started. So let's look at the reference image page that has the windowsills and the tables in front. Look at those for a little bit. We're going to draw the line where our hot chocolate is going to sit, which is the windowsill. And look at these as well, because you can see the windowsills in these too. This one doesn't have one, but it's just a straight line going across on most of them. So you can pick whatever windowsill, and the windowsill is like just the ledge that comes out from a window. That is usually part of the frame. Okay, so wherever you want that to be, you can draw it. I'm going to go ahead and just draw a line going across. We always draw things lightly when we first start. We don't start adding pressure to our pencil until later down the road. That way we can erase it like this if we make a mistake. Okay, then we're just going to draw the outline of our mug. Just quickly sketch your mug. So we can look at our mugs here and just pick one out. As always, you can copy mine, copy one from the reference images, or invent one from your brain, or a combination of all those things as always. Always the guidelines when we draw things. Okay. I think. All right. Let's see. Do this one. So I'm just going to do like a letter J, uppercase letter J, and then flat at the bottom for mine, and then backwards letter J for the other side, uppercase. Try to get it somewhat symmetrical. And then I'm going to draw an oval for the top. Now, the trick to drawing cylinders is you actually want the bottom line to be the same exact curve as the bottom of the oval up here. So I'm actually going to change this to being the same as this line. There we go. That always makes it look a little bit more realistic. And then handle, let's see. I like this handle here. Let's go. It's kind of like if you're drawing an ear. And then another ear on the inside, but this one is going to go a little bit further out, like this. And then one more, this is just going to be a curved line. Like that for the inside of the handle. And overlapping is where anytime you're covering something up, you can erase what you're covering up. So what do I need to erase here because of overlapping? Yeah, this back part of the table because something is over top of it. It's overlapping. Okay, that's all you guys need to, oh, and then if anything is going to be coming up out of it, you can like draw that in too. So I might have these, I like these peppermint sticks. Okay. Okay. So we are actually going to work on the mug on a different day. We were just sketching that out because today we're working on the background, and this will help us design our background if we know like where our mug is going to be and how much space it will take. So now we're going to pick out a window. So let's look at our window reference images. Of course, here's some beautiful ones in our art history reference images, some beautiful windows we can be inspired by. And then the frame of the windows is really nice, right? So this one is like a plus sign. This is just a minus. This is more like a letter T, plus sign. This one's just a minus. Those are in our composition reference images, but there's a whole page of different windows as well. So we could do like an arched window. We could do a tall window with 3 sections on each side. We could have a thick frame, a thin frame, little handles, all sorts of different ideas here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that now. I'm going to do this curved window. You guys do whatever window you want. So first I'm going to draw the bottom line. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a line going up. On both sides. Okay, and then I'm going to do a big rainbow line. Like so. Okay, and now I'm going to draw a line going down the middle. And a line going across. Okay, I'm actually going to move this up a little higher. I just want there to be a little bit more space between the frame and my hot chocolate. This was a little bit crowded. Okay, now I'm just going to clean up my lines a little bit. So to turn a line into a shape, we just have to add a line that's the exact same next to it. So I'm actually just going to first draw a box in here. Like this. And then I'm going to draw a box over on this side as well. Let's see. Okay. So now I'm going to draw they're called window panes, the glass inside the frame. I'm going to draw those for up here as well. So first I'm going to just do this exact curve line a little bit in, like this. And then I'll do this line a little bit higher up. So just a line laying down. And then like this. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side. So curve line. And down. And across. Okay. Now, we are going to not worry about that all being perfect because, like I said, today is really all about the background. But having these in here, this mug and this, window frame and this windowsill, it will kind of help us with our background coloring. So now let's look at our reference images for the outside. So this is going to be a winter landscape outside. And here's some different ideas for what you could do for outside the window here. And then, of course, you can look at other pages too. Like the windowsill actually has some really nice winter landscapes outside as well. And so does our composition ones. This one, we've got a winter one here, winter one here, winter here, winter here. So as always, just like with everything else, you can copy from the reference images, copy from your brain, copy from me, or a combination of those things. So we're going to use chalk pastels today. Now, these chalk pastels, some people call them soft pastels, by the way, which is completely accurate as well. I call them chalk pastels, but most people call them soft pastels. Anywho, these have been known to stain children's clothing. So try not to get it on your jackets or anything. If you are wearing something with long sleeves and you have like a t-shirt underneath, I would definitely recommend taking off like hoodies and such if you have a short sleeve shirt underneath. Because when you're blending, you're gonna accidentally like probably lay your hand on it and get it on your shirt, which won't come off. And then we are always allowed to use aprons in this classroom. There are aprons at your supply station, so you never have to ask permission to use aprons. Those are always there for you, and this lesson is no different. So if you feel more comfortable wearing an apron, you absolutely can. That being said, usually kids don't get it on the area where apron would touch. Usually they get it on their sleeves, so it's not. I'm not going to recommend wearing an apron, but you always can if you want. But you definitely don't need to, I don't think, personally. Okay, anyways, another thing is, you don't want to blend the or the chalk pastels with your hands. We'll get into more of that later on. So let's go ahead, and if you're the kitty cat, you can get the chalk pastels out there at your supply station. And there's just one of these boxes for each table. So to open this, the kitty cat can do this. The tabs are right here, so you just pop that there, and then open it. And when you clean up, make sure you pop them closed. All right. Anyway, and you'll see that these are in order. You're going to keep them in order, right? They're in rainbow order, and then the neutrals. Okay, cool. That helps keep them clean. All right. Put these here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So just pick your first color that you want. I'm going to start. I really like this one. I'm going to do something like this. So I'm going to start with my light color. I do recommend starting with your lightest color and then building up the darker colors. Let's actually get a paper towel out. If you are the puppy dog, you can tear off a piece of paper towel for everybody at your station. Your paper towels are also at your supply station, and you'll see why in a second. We will also use a messy mat for this in the classroom. I'm not going to at my house, but you guys will get a messy mat and put it underneath. Okay. Got our paper towel, our messy mats. All right, now let's start with whatever light color you want. White doesn't, when I say a light color, don't worry about white because you just kind of leave that part blank for now. And if it's really dirty, mine's not too bad, but if it's super dirty, that's what the paper towel is for. You can kind of color on the paper towel a little bit, and that cleans it. And the whole thing doesn't need to be clean, right? Just the parts that you're going to use. So everybody pick a color, clean it if you need to. And now draw what you want to draw with that. And you're just going to, of course, draw in the window. But if you go across the frame a little bit, that's okay. We'll kind of clean the frame up later. And then my other advice is don't push down too hard. Just go really lightly, okay? Really lightly. That way we can erase the frame and everything later and clean it up easier. All right, here we go. I'm going to do some swirls. Everybody's working on coloring their background with the first color of their choice. Okay, like that. And then I'm going to make mine a little bit thicker. So I'm jumping over my frame here. But if I accidentally gets them in the frame, it's okay because I'm going to clean it up later. So I'm not super worried about that. Really lightly. Okay. And now we're going to blend that in. So you can put that chalk pastel back now. And a paper towel, you can use that to kind of wipe your fingers a little bit if you want. And don't ask me to wash your hands until the end of class. Don't actually ask me to wash your hands at all because at the end of class, we're all going to wash our hands. So you don't even have to ask. Okay, so now we're going to just blend this in. You might have some chalk dust going on here, but when you use your finger to blend it into the paper, it will go away. So we're pushing that into the paper. And then you can wipe your finger. And then you can get the next color. So for me, I'm going to use the darker blue, but you guys can use your next color. Again, I recommend using the like lightest colors up to your darkest colors. So now I'm just going to fill in all the blank spots essentially with my blue. And I'm just going to go really lightly. Super gentle. That's the trick to chalk pastels, is going really gently. If you push down really hard on your chalk pastels, you're just going to make a mess. So gentle is the way to go. Notice how my hand is picked up off my paper. I don't have any chalk pastel here because I'm floating my hand. That's something you'll want to do. Okay. You can put your second color back now, and then same as before, you can blend that. Blend it in. And you want to blend in the direction like that you want it to look like the wind is going. So if you're doing something like this, you would want to blend in a circular motion. If you're doing something like this, you want to blend in more of like a diagonal horizontal motion. And then if you're doing a swirl like me, I'm blending in a swirly motion. So I'm just following the swirl of the light blue as I blend. Don't worry if there's still some white showing right now. Just blend in what you got. Just trust the process. Okay. And you can wipe your finger off there. Okay, good. So we should all have two colors that are blended on our paper so far. So now what you can do, if you're doing something like this or like this, you might have a third color, like a purple or something. So you can now add that third color to your background. And if you're doing snow and such, don't worry about those little details or anything, okay? If you have a little if you have a tree in your idea, if you want to do a tree, you could do that. I am going to actually just do another layer of my light blue. Like I said, don't worry if there's these little white spots because you could do another layer. That's why I said not to worry if there's any paper still showing through because you can do a second layer. So it's better to do multiple thin layers versus one or two or just a few thick layers. Because like I said, if you push down really hard and have like a thick thing of chalk dust, then that's going to make more of a mess versus what you want it to do. It'll be harder to handle. So anyway, I'm going to add another thin layer with my light blue. You guys can go in with your third color now. And every time you add a color, then you're going to blend. At this point, you should have enough chalk pastel on your paper to fill up all of the pieces of paper, like all the paper underneath the chalk pastel. So if you need to apply a little bit of extra pressure with your finger when you blend to make it so you can't see any of the paper underneath, that would be appropriate to do at this point because we have enough chalk pastel dust to cover the paper. So like I said before, you want to start with your lightest colors and work up, but I think white is a little bit of an exception to that rule. So now I'm actually going to do my white. I'm going to add some white on the inside of my swirls to make them pop a little bit more, have a little bit more of a contrast. And the white, you definitely, remember how I taught you guys how to clean these chalk pastels with your extra paper towel? Definitely are going to want to clean the white. So you should be adding your fourth color right now, going through with your chalk pastel the fourth time. Whether you've done purple, pink, yellow, and orange, or if you've done light blue, light blue, white like me, or if you've done light blue, green, and then white, you know, we've all kind of gone over our window. This is our fourth time working on our window. The fourth pass with a chalk pastel. And every time we go through with the chalk pastel, what do we do next? We blend it, right? With our finger. You can be a lot more gentle the more chalk we've applied. You'll notice. Okay. Now at this point you might have some little chalk dust built up. Just kind of take your paper and get that chalk pastel onto your paper towel. We don't want to blow it, even though I know it's really tempting to, because you would get chalk pastel dust in the air, which is bad for it's bad for you. You don't want to inhale it. Also, you don't want it to get in somebody's eyes and such. So we don't ever want to blow it, even though it's tempting to, I know, but you won't get both your dojo points if you blow it because that's dangerous. And now you guys might want to do some little details. I'm going to do some stars. Again, I'm floating my hand. We're not leaning our hand. Or, I'm sorry, not stars, but snowflakes. So now you should be adding probably some details. You might want to add some like snow buildup in the corners of your windowsill. Okay. And that is all for the sky. So we should all be done with our sky now. You can put that away. Now what we're going to do is color our window. So, look here. You can see there, you could do a brown windowsill, a blue one. It could be smooth. It could be textured, thick, thin, with handles, whatever you want. I'm going to do a brown one. And these are the only colors that I have, but you can actually mix these colors just like we do with paints. So look up here for a second so I can show you what I mean. If I wanted light brown, well, look, we don't have light brown, but it's fine because if I put a little bit of light brown down gently, we don't push down hard with the chalk pastels, right? Okay. And then remember the next step is to blend with our finger. And then if I added white on top of that, what is going to happen? Yeah, it's going to turn lighter. Okay, so although we don't have all the colors in the world, you can make colors with these. You can make all the colors with the primary, red, yellow, and blue. We already have secondary as well. If you want to make pink, it's red and white, but that will give you a very rosy pink. And I know a lot of kids kind of like a more of a warm, more of a cool pink. So you could add a little purple to it as well. Okay, so red and white and a little bit of purple will get you a pink. Anywho, let's go ahead and all color the windowsill or the window frame now. And remember, when you're blending, you want to go in the direction of your frame, because if you go back and forth like this instead of like this, what's going to happen? Yeah, it's going to get your sky messy. So you want to go in the direction of your frame when you blend into the paper. Okay, that is all for today. We need to go ahead and end here so that way we can wash our hands. So everybody, no matter if you're done with your frame or not, don't worry, we're going to work on this next week. So it's okay if you didn't finish anything today, like any part of this today, because you're going to work on it next week. Hold on. Well, you know what? No, I will work on that next week. I know it's hard to put it down. Look, I really want to make this blue, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use self-control. You guys can use self-control too. Okay, step 1. Wipe your fingers on your paper towel. And step 2, any chalk dust needs to be on the paper towel here. Okay, like that. Make sure your chalk pastels are in the right spot. So check and look in here. Okay, all good. Now, alligators. Fold everybody's paper towel so you just see the clean, and put these in the big trash can. You don't have to use your little trash can like we usually do. You can use the big trash can for this. So throw away the paper towels. Next, kitty cats. Close the chalk pastels, clip them down, put them back where you got them. Not on any place in the shelf. Put them where they were on the shelf. Okay? And then bears, you are going to collect the art. So go get your folder from your teacher's drawer. Bring it to your table. Put the artwork from your table in that folder and then put the folder back. And then puppy dogs. I know you don't usually do the reference images, but get your reference images and you're going to put them in the folder at your supply station. Now you're a 3rd grader, so they're going to be yellow. So put these in the yellow folder, okay? All right. Now we are going to be washing our hands. So I'm going to let like one table go at a time. And while the rest of you are in here waiting, you're just going to be watching a video I put on for you. So it's going to be one table at a time. So some of you are going to sit there with your dirty hands watching a video while the other ones of you go wash your hands, and we'll take turns, okay? All right, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. You did a great job, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.